Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Gargis. We've got Josh Lawford with us today, and we are going to talk a little bit about goal setting and marketing. I just want to let you know, I know that our email out to you today talked a little bit about Kim and Philip Bruner being on with us. They have had something come up today and they're not going to be able to be here, but no worries. Josh and I are going to talk to you a little bit about still your marketing plan, and how important it is to have that marketing plan. So I'm going to pull a little bit up on the screen first. Um, Heather, can you see that? Josh, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, first of all, just want to talk to you a second about how essential it is to have a plan. One of the biggest waste of time is starting off without clear, specific goals. What happens when you don't have goals is that it causes you to react to whatever's going around you instead of focusing on what you want to accomplish. So if you get up every morning, and especially at the beginning of the week, and you just have no idea what it is you want to accomplish, you'll find out that on Friday you've just really done nothing. And the reason is because you didn't think about what you were going to do before Monday came around. So that can happen really quickly. So just having a good plan of what you want to do for the week can be so helpful. But the good news about that is that there's never been more opportunities to achieve your goals than there are today. So you can decide what you want. And setting your goals and working to achieve those goals can make the difference between a meaningful or meaningless month. One of the suggestions that we always have for you is to find a cheerleader. Find somebody that you can work with that cheers you on when you've done something well, done something good. If you've set a goal and you've made that goal, to talk with them, and they can be so happy for you. Or just, even if you don't want to find that person, you don't want to work with that person, putting it down on paper and being able to see what you've written down as a goal, and knowing that you've accomplished that goal. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because some people think, well, where am I going to write this down? Where can I put it? How do I know what to write down? And so, we work very closely with Advocate and Josh, and they've got a place that you can put that down, very simple and easy. And so he's going to show us that today. And that's what we're going to spend some time on. Let me get my information off the screen here.
All right. Can you see the screen?
We can.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, before we start this, I want to throw a Bible verse out there that kind of talks about having plans and things like that. It's just something that came to my mind. It's kind of funny one, but it's really not if you take it to heart. But it says Proverbs 21:5 talks about good planning and hard work leads to prosperity, but hasty shortcuts lead to poverty. I don't know about y'all, but I wanna be on the prosperity list and help my family and help others. And that's the reason we do this, okay? So I think it's very important for everybody to have a plan. Now, what I'm gonna show you, every single person should have access to this. It's advocate4agents.com, okay? And I'm gonna walk through. If you can see in the top left corner where it says log in and register, there's so much stuff we could go over on this, and I would love to do another class another time on some other stuff, but I want to specifically go over personalized marketing plans. Okay. So up here, if you hadn't, I'm going to hit the login button and log in. But if you hadn't, go to that agent registration right there and go fill it out. Okay. And then just go in there and play and have some fun. So when I log in, and I'm going to have to change it up here, you're going to have what's called the agent portal. All right. And Lisa, you slow me down at all if I need to. But before I go to this, I want to let you know on the right side over here, when you first get an agent portal, you can download this onto your phone. Okay, so you can look at your personalized marketing plan every single day, and you don't even have to, load up your, computer. I'm sure Rick Israel still has dial up in his office. You ain't got to do all that, Rick. So you can do all this from your phone, just like this.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, was that a personal hit?
No, I love you, Rick. I love you, Rick. So look, if you go down here, obviously great trainings and things that you can go into on Advocate University. Anything that we ever do that you get emails on, whether it be getting ready for AEP, DSNP is a new CSNP training, any of those things, you can go on there and listen to them if you can't be there live, okay? But I'm going to go down here to this personalized marketing plan. And it's everybody can have this. The biggest key to this is as you go down, you want to make sure you're hitting the save button, because the worst thing you'd ever do is get to the bottom, don't hit save. You gotta remember what you put in here. But the first thing right here, it says, why do you want to sell a Medicare Advantage plan? Now, obviously, what we do, the money's great and all that stuff. But why do we sell it? We sell it because we are in the business to help people. That's got to be the number one thing on our hearts and minds. And so with that being said, put your why on there so you can look at it whenever, you go in here and you see this. And Lisa, anything that you want to say on any of this, just jump in. Okay. I do want to say when you scroll down, you can put on here, if you've never done this before, you can do your goals for the rest of the year. What do you want to do before we get to the end of the year? Okay. And then you can also, when we get to AP, right around September, you want to start adding in your new sales goals for this year. Now, one thing, these numbers pull from Connecture, which a lot of people have, and it pulls from Sunfire. The one thing that we're trying to get is where if you do it from a carrier's website to pull into this, but sometimes we don't get those real time and they're kind of delayed. But as of right now, we for sure, if you're on Connection or Sunfire, you can. But as you can see right here, I wrote, if my goal for 2025, to give an example, let's say I wanted to write 30 plans, okay, for the rest of the year. All right. Well, right now I have written 4 Lawford family members right there. That's all I have. Okay. Overall, to reach my goal, I've got to hit 26, which is going to give me 4 monthly that I need and 1 weekly that I got to hit that goal. Okay. So some people, hey, you've been doing this forever. You don't even need this. But this is good, especially if you're a new agent, just to kind of have that out there. The most important thing on this whole, you know, personalized marketing plan is this next thing we're going to go over.
Hey,
And it's
Josh.
yes.
I want to go back to the numbers because, a lot of times you might have a goal in mind, but have no idea, okay, how many a week is it going to take me to get there? How many a month is it going to take me to get there? And you're just flying around not knowing. And so I think this is a great tool right here because when you break it down and okay, I've got to do so many a week, so many a month to get to that number that I want to be. Maybe it's a money number that you want to get to, but to know how to break that down in your head makes such a difference in your selling process. And I love this too, because like you said, if you're using Connecture or you're using Sunfire, it puts in your current production. So it's taking those off of your goal to know exactly how many more you've got to get there. So I love this tool. I think it's a wonderful tool for people to use.
For sure. And if I backtrack a little bit, I just want you made me think of something else. Um, on this whole, write down your vision, your plan, your why. I have an agent who is in Montgomery, and he literally sells Medicare Advantage plan to get his grandkids through school. That's why he does it, and obviously to help people. But that's a good things like that is what you want to put on here, okay? Like mine. Hey, I want Lisa to put on here. Derek is going to sell as many as he can so he can support all Josh's kids when they get to college. Whatever you want to
Yes.
put in there.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't tell you about that, Lisa. All right, so if you get down here, community connection point. if you can see, can you see it when I do the click down box, Lisa?
We cannot see when you hit the click down box,
Oh,
no.
y'all froze on me. Can anybody hear me? Okay.
We
Can
can
y'all
hear
hear me
you.
now?
We can hear you
Okay, y'all,
now.
the screen got you. The screen froze. Okay, so the next part of this section is going to be community connection points. And when I click on this, you may not be able to see it, but it's
We
going to
can
talk
now.
about, it's going to give you like 75 different types of community points. Okay, so this is doing your community-based marketing, which is key to what we do. Okay, and so with this being said, it's going to have things like food banks, FQHCs, any social clubs you may be a part of, anything that your doctor's offices. I know there's a lot of people that work in physicians' clinics. We want to make sure that you're putting those down here. And when you get over to the goals, and you can put as many rows as you want in here of activities that you're doing or want to do. But when you get in here under the goals, if you go in the office and the gatekeeper, let's say her name is Miss Judy and she's got a new grandbaby on the way, whatever you want to put notes in there. So when you go back next time, you can have these good conversations with them and things like that. Or if you want to track anything, this is a good place to do that. Okay.
So
Now,
Josh, go back up to that
yeah,
and click on that drop down box. So if I'm sitting at home and I'm trying to think of some activities to go out and do, and I'm running out of ideas, look, this drop down box gives me all of those ideas that people have been doing. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel.
right.
These are a list of ideas of things that people have done in the past that obviously work because they're put in this list here and they work for a reason because people have been successful with them. So if I feel like I just don't know where to go, I don't know any kind of marketing activities, well, you can come to this drop down box and get loads of ideas here. So I love this list for that reason.
And as I scroll down, uh, we were talking about it's good to see numbers and have things. Lisa was talking about this. Well, how are we going to get to those numbers? So this is a good, once again, this is really good for, somebody, if you've been in this business for 2 years or less, this is really good. So how many calls, conversations, appointments, sales, referrals, how many social media posts, how many things do you need to do on an activity basis to get this done? Now, some of you may be doing this part-time. So you gotta think, okay, my roadmap may look different than somebody's doing it full-time. Okay. But whatever it is, just make sure you're writing these opportunities down right here. Okay. Lisa, you got anything on this?
Uh, no, I think you did. I think that's good. I think just keeping up with those things are important.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, also this next one, when you get down here, we're almost at the very end, but it says which of these community connection points will be the most natural fit, or for you. So if you're a veteran, hey, that natural fit may be for you to go to the VFWs, get active with the local disabled veterans, things like that. Your CBOX clinics, all these things. If you played sports in college or something, you may want to go and you want to see if there's any kind of like pickleball leagues or
Um,
something like that to
hits
to,
at
to
Lee
stay
Holland.
busy stuff. Um,
Because
and
she
then
emailed me the email chain.
as
They were talking about
Hey,
things.
Marion. Thank you. Okay. Okay, go ahead,
and
Josh.
then okay, so like what are the best carriers to have in your area? Okay, so if you're in Florence, put the top three that in that area. Just kind of have those things from where, and that changes. So this is why this is always a moving target. Because every year we know things change. And then at the very end, and this is where I was talking about earlier, you can go to, if you miss any of these, or you can actually go to Advocate University and look up any of our training opportunities, because what we have is, I really want everybody, and I'm going to show you how to get there in a second, to go to the Medicare Broker Academy for new agents. We have some on, like I said, AHIP, sure, we have a free call recording tool. A lot of y'all might already have software that you use, and that's great. But if you want to, we have a free one where it's just a phone number, you three-way. It's super simple and doesn't cost a thing, and you can save it in your phone. If anything, put it in your phone if you ever get in a jam and you're somewhere and technology doesn't work and you need to just do the old dialer. So veterans training and things like that. And what I was talking about is make sure you hit that save button when you're in here. And then as I scroll to the top, if you see it in the top right, I don't know if you can see this or not, it says export to PDF. So you can print this off. You could put it at your desk or in your car or your binder or whatever. So you're looking at it all the time. So you're knowing that you're getting to your goal that you need to do. So this is just we wanted you to see this because this is a really good roadmap, for agents to do. So it's good whether you've been here for a long time or whether you've been here for just a little bit. So Lisa, any thoughts?
I mean, I know that, a lot of times we just feel like, well, I kind of know what I'm going to do and I know what my goals are. I've got them in my head and I don't feel like these kind of things are necessary, but they really are necessary. I mean, you really want to have a goal in mind and you want to know your why of why you're out here doing this. And when you put it on paper, it does just make it a whole lot easier. I promise you that. We don't just show you these things because we just want to have a webinar and we just need something to talk about. They are tools that really do make you a little more successful. We promise you that. So just try it. It isn't something that you have to pay for. It isn't something that, takes up a lot of your time. This is a totally free program from Advocate. So just make sure that you go in and register, drop down to the personalized marketing plan, take some time to go in and think about your why you're doing this. If it's something that you're trying to pay off, if it's something that you just, you're working towards, just put that in there and then come up with a goal that you're trying to accomplish. And start and print it off, have it on your office desk somewhere so that you can just remember every day, this is what I'm trying to get to. And I promise you, it will give you something to work towards. And it will, I just feel like it helps every week to make you a little bit better.
Hey, and just while we're here back on this is the main agent portal. I just want to say it says contact forms coming soon. In the next couple months, we're going to have things on there that you can actually easily access when it comes to like, a business reply card or permission to contact or a form for this or that. We're going to have it all available with super easy to get to on here, as well as if you ever want to know, man, who am I appointed with, or I forget this, you can go to my appointment summary. It's right in there and it'll have a check box by to make sure you're good to go for 26, 25 or whatever. So you can track it as well. I talked about the call recording. It is right here. Okay. There for you to use. And it actually gives a tutorial in there. And what I think is really cool is you can actually go in there and you can listen to your call. So you can see, hey, I got to get better at this. Man, I sound like I'm in a sour mood. Maybe I need to, put a mirror in front of me so I can see myself smiling during a call. Whatever you need to do, but you can hear yourself in that. And I want to let's see, how are we on time?
Yesterday, Josh, you showed me the greatest thing, because I get this call all the time of people asking me, how do I come up with the disclaimer that I have to put on my advertising ad? And how do I know how many plans are in my area? And I have no idea how to do that. So you showed me this yesterday, and I think this is amazing.
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. You go to this enrollment tools right here. I'm going to click on it. It's going to take a second to load, but this is going to give you a organization plan disclosure calculator. It's going to give you the statement that you got to read. And a lot of times, this will populate, or at least the statement does, in connection and things like that sometimes. But I'm going to use, let's say I'm going to use my zip code here, okay? And just so you can add multiple zip codes. I'm going to do that right now, actually. I'm gonna
So
do
just so you're up
353
to
and
speed, some of you may be newer agents. If you were going to put an ad in a newspaper or advertise somewhere, you have to use this disclosure at the end of that advertisement. From now on, it just is stating how many, it just says, I do not, what does it say, Josh? I do not sell all plans in my area, but I represent this many number of plans. And this is how you know how many number of plans that you represent in the area. It's hard to come up with those just off the top of your
you're,
head.
you're cutting
So
out on
this,
me.
this tool helps you to do that.
Yeah, and so this will break it down. It'll literally go through everything, and you can add multiple counties. But now for your thing, that would be like for an advertising. But if you're, you're going to talk to somebody over the phone, and you need to know what they live in Jefferson County or they live in Shelby County or Madison, whatever. You could put this in there and it'll pop all that up for you. And then also, if you scroll down, if you don't have Connecture, it'll tell you where to just email us and we'll get that up and running for you. Okay. Lisa,
Yes.
I am going to we have just a few more seconds. I want to go to this Advocate University real quick. This is my favorite tab on here. Okay. And you see resource library. Okay. In the resource library, that's going to give you when it's closer to AP and all the plans start dropping their information, we're going to house them all in there so you can go check it out. And it links you right to the carrier's websites, to their updates or whatever they've submitted to us. So we have it all right there for you, as well as there's resource stuff like if you want to know stuff about DSNP, CSNP, or levels or whatever, all that's housed in there. So y'all go check that out. Webinars, there's so many we can't even you have enough webinars for a whole year. But this right here, this is very important. Remember, Advocate University and upcoming events. We talked about on a personalized marketing plan about making sure that you're part of trainings and you're getting the whole purpose, not just to train you to death, y'all. It is to literally get you confident, help you, and fine tune yourself. Okay. So when I click in here, you can scroll down and you don't need to do the top one because you're already working with Advocate. But down here we have different things like the Vedic care. If you're at ABIP and you heard Cullen come to talk, he goes into more detail there. They're going to talk today and some other strategy. Okay. And then if I scroll down, there's one at the very bottom that says grassroots marketing that we have come up on the July the 1st. This is where you go to register for all this in this section. So Lisa, I'm going to stop sharing. And I just appreciate y'all's time today. Thanks for going through that with us.
So we just wanted you to know that that is there. From Advocate at advocateforagents.com. That's where you go to get that. If you're not registered already, make sure that you register, create an account, and then anytime that you go to that, you can get logged in and go back, keep going back. But it's a great site. It's got a lot of information like Josh showed you, and we just want to make sure that you're utilizing that information. So I think
that was just a little bit of what we have to offer. So there's so much more, and we have a lot of things coming soon from it's almost like we have our own in-house ad agency now. So we've added some stuff. Y'all are going to be able to go on there real soon, and instead of having to call or you can go on there yourself, customize things. So that's coming soon, and I'm excited about that.
So that's it for us. Thank you guys for joining today. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Josh, and we will get this recording sent out to everyone today. If you couldn't join us, then you'll be able to watch it through this recording. Thanks, Heather.
Thanks. Wow, that was great. I wasn't aware of all of those resources. I love that marketing plan. That's great. Yeah, thanks for
Yes.
sharing that. I'll be looking at that as well. Thank you. All right, so I'll end this recording and y'all have a good day.
Bye,
Thanks.
y'all.